should you sign up to be an Uber driver and a Lyft driver? I hate YouTubers that just ramble on, so let's get right into it. In this video, I'm gonna give you a 3-step process where I'm talking about the 3 most important things to keep in mind when it comes to driving to allow you to determine should you drive or shouldn't you drive. Number 1, what is your location? I mentioned this in almost half of my YouTube videos about Uber and Lyft, and that is this. Your location is the number 1 factor that determines how much money you can make as a driver. These are some surveys that were done by Ridester, which is a site that does independent research about Uber and Lyft and ride-sharing earnings and drivers. And as you can see, depending on what city you're in really determines how much money you can make. Even if, let's say, 2 drivers drive the exact same, they drive in the exact same hours, they have the exact same car, etc., one driver, just given their location, will make more or less money than another driver. So the first thing I would do if I was in your shoes is check Ridester, because every year they do update this, and this does change or fluctuate from year to year, but overall, cities like Los Angeles, New York, Boston, Nashville, these are all cities that you can get paid a lot of money to drive for Uber and Lyft. However, if you're in a remote part of Ohio, I'm gonna be honest, I just don't think it's worth it at all, and you should not sign up whatsoever. Although this is unfortunate, your location really is the biggest make or break out of anything that determines your income. And let's be honest, you're not looking to drive for Uber and Lyft just for fun, or maybe you are. Most people, you want to make money, and the last thing you want to do is sign up. Let's say you're in a really bad location that, just given everything considered, you just don't make that much money. It is not worth it to sign up, and a complete waste of time. Number 2, the logistics. This is a big one, because if you think about it, when it comes to driving, 1, you need a car. Now, there's 2 different situations when it comes to the car. Are you going to use your own vehicle, or are you going to rent? Now, of course, if you use your own vehicle, yeah, you don't have to worry about renting and spending extra money per se, but all that wear and tear, depreciation is going on your own vehicle. If you decide to rent a car through Uber and Lyft, or let's say another third-party service, you're looking at spending about $250 a week, give or take a certain amount based off your credit score and a lot of other factors. That's something to keep in mind, because let's say if you don't have a vehicle and you want to drive for Uber and Lyft and you decide to rent through them, well, you're already $250 in the hole. Meaning every week, once you make $250, you're now just breaking even. Of course, anything on top of that now is profit, but it is unfortunate you're already starting out $250 in the hole, and if you don't drive enough in that given week, you could, if anything, lose money more than making money. Another thing when it comes to logistics is your insurance. Make sure you get rideshare insurance. If you don't have rideshare insurance, the last thing you want to do is be in an accident. You call your insurance company up and you say, hey, I was driving for Uber and Lyft and this happened, and they're like, whoa, we did not know you were driving for Uber and for Lyft. We're not covering this accident. And unfortunately, and probably not surprisingly, insurance companies will use any excuse they can to try to get out of any situation where they have to give you money. Another big one when it comes to the logistics as well is, when can you drive? Now, as we all know, Friday and Saturday nights are the best time to drive. You're gonna make a lot of money. Another peak hour window is morning and evening commutes. However, let's say if you're a bartender, so you bartend on Friday and Saturday nights, and let's say you bartend during the week, so you wake up a bit later in the morning because you're going to bed so late from closing out your shift and everything, and you say, Mark, I'm not gonna lie, I can really only drive Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Let's say that's the only window you can drive in. It might not be worth it. Even if you're in a really good city where you can make a lot of money, that's just not a really common window for people to take a Lyft and Uber. Now, granted, it depends. You never know. Maybe in your city, that is a popular time window, right? It is tough to say, but if you can't drive during the peak hours, morning and evening commutes, Friday and Saturday nights, I actually don't know if it's worth it at all. And especially when you combine this, let's say, with other jobs, that is something you do have to ask yourself is, well, is it even worth it to sign up if I can't drive during the best hours to drive? Number 3, test it out part-time. Now, on this specific video, I'm really scraping the surface about all these different subjects, whether it's getting a car, your location, the best times to drive, etc., etc. I've already done a bunch of videos about these topics on my channel. However, at the end of the day, when it comes to you, when it comes to your own situation, the best thing I can suggest is try it out part-time test the waters. It is completely free to sign up with both Uber and Lyft, and there's no quota. It's not like Uber and Lyft says, hey, you have to do 50 rides a week or else we deactivate your account. There's no quota whatsoever. So it doesn't hurt to sign up and just test it out part-time. Maybe in your given area, in your given location, given your work schedule, given the times you can drive, maybe you start driving and you're like, you know what? I'm making good money. I'm going to keep driving more. Or maybe you start driving and you're like, you know what? I'm not making anything. It's not worth it at all. Like I said, every person's situation is different. Whether it's your location, what you're doing with your vehicle, whether you're renting or using your own vehicle, the times you can drive, and a lot more factors. And that's what's tough about Lyft and Uber, is a lot of times people want to know, well, Mark, like how much money can I make? You'd be surprised how crazy the spread is. I was in Nashville and I was talking to some drivers who were like, oh, Mark, I make between $700 and $800 a day when it comes to driving for Uber and Lyft on Friday and Saturday nights. I've been in other places that are like, no, Mark, I only make between $200 and $300 on a Friday. That's almost a 3 to 4x difference in terms of your income. And that's the thing with Uber and Lyft. There are so many random factors that truly determine how much money you can make, which is why I always suggest start off part-time. The last thing you want to do, and I've heard of drivers doing this, the last thing you want to do is, let's say, going right into it. You start off full-time right away. You jump into it full-time driving, and you realize, wow, even though I'm driving full-time, I'm not making that much at all. Like, I have to drive and work an insane amount just to make ends meet. Well, that's not worth it whatsoever. Always, always, always start off part-time and then go from there.